I finally watched A Man Called Otto, and I remember when this trailer came out, I was like, huh, Tom Hanks playing a grumpy old man. Sounds about right. That's what he is sometimes. Grouch. I really enjoyed it. Just the whole thing of him just walking around and like things should be a certain way, but of course he's a man who basically hates change. And we kind of later find out like why he's a grouch, because obviously when he was younger he had a wife, and then she died sickness, and he just doesn't, there's nothing for him in the world anymore, and just living his life the way he wants to. He also has a heart problem. But then all these people like moving into the neighborhood, basically, or where the housing is where he lives. And then people parking in a certain place where he's like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. No, get out of there. Until this one Hispanic family comes around and it kind of changes his life. He gets really close with them and their children. Just all these different little things going on. And eventually, at some point, he's about to try to kill himself with his rifle. And then he's sort of like, it's one of those things where it's almost like he sees his dead wife and basically kind of telling him, like, her ghost kind of telling him, like, no, don't do it, don't. And then he basically misses because something startles him. And basically, this is like the thing I hate about the movies, when they had the stupid trans. This chick who's a dude, basically, shows up and he lets him stay there. Because, he's like, oh, I don't know, I have nowhere to go, and blah, blah, blah. And then even after that experience, he starts helping out other people and stuff like that. And then, it's hard, kind of acting up. He ends up in the hospital. And then at the same time he's there, the woman who, the wife of in the family that he gets close to, she's about to give birth. So she goes ahead and gives birth. And he's just there, he's holding her and, making her laugh or something like that. And then eventually in the movie, I had a feeling this was going to happen. They're like wondering like where he is and stuff, and she finds him dead in his bed. Because I had a feeling that was going to happen, and just because, I don't know, it just seemed like it was going in that direction. And, but I really enjoyed the performances, like Tom Hanks. He's Tom Hanks. What do you expect? Mark Forster directed it, and I like a lot of his movies. That family, that Spanish family, they were really good. And, I liked all the flashback stuff with a young, I will say this, I forgot to mention this, because I just remembered. And I hate when I forget stuff and then I remember, thankfully. There's a scene where it's like they're kind of making Tom Hanks look younger. And I think it was more of like, I think it was his face on a younger guy's body. It didn't look great. It did not look great at all. Especially like when he turns and he's walking. It almost looks like that thing like from Forrest Gump, where like when they have like the president, when they kind of, like when they filmed all his scenes and they add the stuff with the president on there. It looked that bad where it's like, you could just tell it looks fake. You know what I mean? Even though they're trying their best to kind of be like, oh no, this looks good, young Tom Hanks. It looked terrible, but other than that, again, the performances are great. I hated seeing that transgender in this, because I was like, really? A great movie, and then you ruin it by having this freak in it. It's like, really? But again, other than that was a small thing. The rest of the movie was fantastic. That was the only small thing that was like, that kind of like ruined certain things for me. But again, at the end of the day, it was a great movie. Mark Forster did a great job directing it, and really good cast, minus the trans. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Hope you guys see it. It's on Netflix currently. And I was just so happy to see that it was there, because I was like, oh, I get to watch it, yes. Oh, and by the way, I'm very sorry that I didn't release my review for Champions. The air wasn't working in the house. So now it's working now. And don't worry, that review is going to be the next one after this. Don't worry, this time I promise, because this time the air is working perfectly, and feels great in here. So thanks for watching, and watch A Man Called Otto if you haven't seen it.